Imagine Kenyans who are being taken to hospitals, they can't get any access to any doctor to help them with their various ailments. Therefore, we demand, we don't want to request. Ruto, you said you can do this one. Right now, there's nothing you are doing. In fact, from the time you were elected, there's nothing that you've done which is sensible. Everything you are doing is just causing havoc, causing pandemonium, causing a lot of tension in this country. And I want to tell you that if you don't move with speed, we will move with speed. And this is a new team, the young blood, the fresh breath, that is going to breathe into the dry bones of the problems facing Kenyans. Lastly, on the Haiti issue, the United States of America did state clearly at the Congress. They did mention that Ruto's interest is about making money in this country. That Ruto is just interested in making the 13 billion Kenya shillings and is not interested on the humanitarian part of taking care of interest of Kenyans. If you take these police officers who are fathers, who are children of others, who are relatives and friends of Kenyans, these people are going to be killed. We were being informed that at least 20,000 police officers should be deployed. At least 20,000 should be deployed to say one.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be brief so that I allow my colleagues to also say something. Yeah, first and foremost, this is a generational change. Every generation in this country, from the time of colonialism, from the fight for multipartism, from the fight for promulgation of the new constitution, and to the fight for devolution, every generation has had a chance to rise up and do what needed to be done. We are now called upon as a generation to rise up and do what needs to be done. We fought democracy, we fought new constitution, we fought multipartism. Now it's time for economic emancipation. This is the duty of our generation. And we are here to announce that there is a new awakening. The young, the energetic, the charismatic, the revolutionary have arisen. And it's not going to be business as usual on the street. We are going to rise up and take up our duty, our cardinal duty to protect and preserve the interests of the local Mwananchi. On the issue of the health, it has been my proposal, even during the BBI and even the NADICO report, that we must have a health service commission. Just the way we have a teacher service commission, we no longer hear about teacher strike. You need to ask yourself, why don't we have teacher strike that used to be a perennial menace in this republic? It's because we had a body that has a potential of interacting with the necessary government agencies to solve their issues. We need to have a health service commission that will take care of the overall problems of the health sector, whether it is from the nurses, the doctors' interest, or the overall status of our health system. And the Haiti system, I'm an international student, of master student, and I can tell you there is no any iota of wisdom in the Haiti mission. There is no bilateral ties between Kenya and Haiti. There is no embassy of Kenyan in Haiti. There is no Haitian embassy here in Kenya. There is absolutely no ties between Kenya and Haiti. We must be told in white and black what was the necessity of Kenya advancing towards Haiti. That is a UN problem. It is not a Kenyan problem. It is not a bilateral ties problem. It is not a country-to-country problem. Haiti is an internal matter. And under the UN Charter, no any nation on earth has the prerogative, the derogation to interfere with the internal affairs of another country. That is the interest and the mandate of the UN, not the Kenyan interest. So from the first time, we must be told what is the status of the Haiti mission, owing to the fact that the Congress have pronounced themselves against funding of this mission from the Biden administration. Thank you very much. I'll give an opportunity to my colleagues here to also say something. Then we'll allow you guys to ask us a question.
Hey, I used to hear Ruto say he must finish the dynasty. Now he has become himself a dynasty. If I go back to his statement, even him, because he's a dynasty, he will be finished. You cannot be saying these dynasties must be finished, and yet you are admiring to be one. Everything that he has done or promised is just like a short-lived dinner party anecdote. Immediately you are done with it, you go sleep, wake up to your problems. Kenyans are suffering. Everything that Ruto is doing, selling our properties, treating Kenyan properties like his personal property, selling a national bank, he's all over Mombasa Port, Kenya Seed, everything that he's been selling. My question is, how much is he saving for the future generation? We demand that 10% of every sale he has done, 10%, and every profit, the 10% must be saved for future generation. Otherwise, the way he's running this nation, he's running like the way he does the sky team. You know, now he's leading the sky team, flying blue. We do not want anything to do with his promises anymore. Kenyans must take charge of their lives starting today and do what will make their lives better. Because if you come to farmers, even the fertilizer that is being sold today is poison to the ground, poison to the products, cannot make the farmers get the yields they used to get. I used to learn agriculture. It was our backbone, I think something like that, the backbone of our nation. Now, if you go to the backbone of the nation and interfere with it, how do you expect to run a nation that is full of graves? Is he planning to bury people? Because now if we will not have enough food, where will we run to? If we cannot produce even our own, where do we run to? Because a proper leader foresees some things and has a plan to back to. What has he done since he had that now the fertilizer that was supplied was fake? Who supplied the fertilizer? Who won the tender? Why don't we see these people to explain to us why this fertilizer is chalk? Some of this fertilizer is chalk, it's not even stones. And some fake poo. We don't know where they are getting the poo from. We want these people who supplied this fake fertilizer already behind bars. Because we cannot be, every day is just something going wrong in Ruto's whatever offices. So whoever is sitting, wherever they are sitting, those offices, agriculture department, people dealing with health, everything is off. We need changes, and we are going to steer ahead the changes that Kenyans want.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We are united here as to government because we cannot sit and watch as the future of this country goes down the drain. There are issues that this government is so vicious about. When it comes to passing the punitive finance bill, we saw what transpired when the executive was so vicious